Good morning. This is Bill from out of Europa, Naples, on kind of a sunny, nasty-looking Florida morning. What I've got here is a 2008 Chrysler Crossfire Coupe. What's pretty neat about this car is that it's either a love it or hate it thing, and frankly, that's the way it was designed to be. It was designed to be a love it or hate it thing. It was not meant to be neutral on the eyes at all. It was based on a concept car that came out in, I don't know, 01 or 02, and the actual production car is very faithful to it. What this car was meant to do was be a halo car or an image car for Chrysler, and to celebrate the collaboration between Chrysler and Mercedes. Even the name and the design is meant to do that. You can see the way that sort of comes together front and rear. There's sort of a little X right here where the back comes forward and the front comes backward, and that is the Crossfire point, and it's meant to celebrate the joining of the two companies. And you know, it really is a unique, interesting car. A very, very cool piece in its own way, and definitely a future collectible. I mean, no question about that. Limited production, strange looking design, you know, sort of controversial sheet metal, and all Mercedes base. This thing is like 80% first generation SLK. In fact, much of it was assembled in Germany, and the car was designed and built by Carmen of Germany, so it really does have a pretty cool pedigree. You can see the hood is a really distinguishing feature. I love these lines sort of built into it. Very, very unique, not something you see every day. Really more of a, you know, 50s or 60s type thing in my mind. Also continues with a little ridge cap on top of the coupe, which is why I like that in contrast to the convertible. And down to the back, that rounded butt with the wide fenders and twice pipes through a diffuser on the bottom. Just really an interesting looking car. Even the crescent side windows, you know, sort of half crescent, just everything about it doesn't really look like anything else on the road. And that alone is enough to make it neat in my book. It's also kind of weird that it has 19-inch wheels in the back and 18 up front. That's not something you see all the time. There's little side slats, very reminiscent of Mercedes-Benz. That must have been borrowed from the SL. Very good looking projecting headlights there. Little mesh grille at the bottom with fog lights. You know, sort of chunky side mirrors. Love this stainless looking window frame. That's pretty cool stuff. You know, again, take it or leave it, love it or hate it. It is unique upon itself, and it's definitely an interesting car. So it is based, again, on the SLK and shares so much of its components with that. That I think was the R170 SLK with the 3.2-liter Mercedes V6. Puts out about 215 horse. Very, very smooth, nice V6. It's adequate for a car of this size. It's not going to throw you back in the seat or anything, but it does get up and move. One thing you're never going to find is the hood release. Ever. Oh, there it is. Okay, so, you know, any Mercedes fan is going to instantly recognize that as that 3.2-liter with a Chrysler Crossfire engine cap on it. This thing is a super low-mile car, just 32,000 miles on it, and sure looks it under the hood. Everything mint. It's very much show quality under there. Again, you know, good peppy V6, decent mileage, very, very smooth, very proper, and just a nice engine under the hood of this thing. Let's have a look at the back. This is another feature that I find quite cool on this car, is this little skinny, tiny hatchback. I mean, it's just, again, like nothing else. You do have fantastic cargo room in here. You see it's got the original floor mats, everything nice and mint. You know, good area to put your groceries, your stuff, your anvils, your engine blocks. You know, even the entry isn't that bad, even for a little tiny trunk compartment that it has. You can get in there okay. So, again, just a pretty cool feature on this thing. I'm not sure if they were loved when they came out, but I'm telling you, they're going to be collectible. See if I can find the key, and I'll show you the little pop-up rear spoiler. So to do that, let me get the ignition on, and I'm going to hit this guy here. That's not the ignition on. Now we got it on. I'm going to press it till the whirring stops. The beeping, that's straight from Mercedes parts bin, that beeping. Anyway, there it is. So that little guy comes up electronically at speed to keep the rump end planted on the ground. Another neat distinguishing feature of this car, as is the logo. I like the way they've put the lines and the letters there. It's just a lot of neat little touches on this thing. Anyway, that thing pops up, acts as a very proper rear spoiler, and gives you some downforce at the back when you need it the most. Let me get that back down. One thing that's weird is it goes down in stages. I don't know if you can hear that. A little bit at a time until it finally beeps, so kind of interesting. Okay, so now at the core of this car, it certainly is a Chrysler, despite being somewhat expensive. So the materials are nice, but they're not incredible. Like, that's very plasticky up here at top. You know, you got kind of a vinyl in the door that does not a terrific job simulating leather, but it tries. You got side airbags. You got these cool sort of nickel-plated surrounds on the speakers, the door pulls. You got a nice big net there, nice and elasticy. Hopefully that stays that way. You've got beautiful leather power seats with a, excuse me, two-tone design, sort of charcoal and gray. You know, looks great in the car. That theme's carried around into the dash and some other spots. So again, very unique interior in this thing. You also get the Crossfire logo there on your sill plate. Let's hop in. And you hear the way that door closes with that solid thud. Frankly, that's a lot more Mercedes than Chrysler. I like to offend guys with SLKs by telling them the SLK is just basically a retooled Crossfire. For some reason, that annoys them. All right, let's fire this thing on. All right, get some illumination there. I like the green backlighting on the gauges too. There you see just 32,000 miles on the clock. A very simple, nicely laid out instrument cluster. You got your water temp, your tach, your 160 mile an hour speedo, which is probably ambitious. You've got a light control directly out of a Mercedes-Benz, as are the windshield wiper controls, the cruise. Very nice, fat, chunky steering wheel. Lovely to grip. Well made. You've got the little nickel inserts there. You got the Chrysler logo looking at you. 4-spoke. Just looks nice. Top of the dash, not in love with it. A little bit plasticky, but again, you know, they couldn't make this thing more money than the SLK, or even the same money. This guy used some sort of a phone mount there, which unfortunately put a mar in the top of the dashboard. So, there it is. Can't fix that without putting in a new top. You can see vents, everything nice, proper. We're getting a little AC going. It's hot as hell. It's getting there. And again, all this is straight out of the SLK. So you've got dual side climate control. You know, it works good. Frankly, they should have carried over the Mercedes switches, because these do feel a little bit light and plasticky to me. But they're in great shape on this low mileage car. And I like that they made everything silver. It's never silver on a Mercedes, so this definitely was all adjusted for the Chrysler parts bin, as was this stereo here, which, let's see what we got. Not a damn thing. Anyway, in-dash CD, very simple. Tuning on the right, volume on the left, as it should be. Heated seats, spoiler control, traction control on and off, hazards, door lock button. That's the thing's getting towed, the motion sensor is going to go batshit, so you hit that to turn that off, and then a heated seat over there. This will turn off the passenger airbag. All this stuff, the fact that it's working properly is kind of a miracle. They always broke on SLKs, and I'm sure they break on Crossfires as well. So it looks nice. You got a silver ashtray. And all this stuff, it's very special, you know, the silver plating. And again, part of what's going to make this kind of a collectible car. You got your windows, you got winter-summer setting on the transmission. You can Tiptronically shift this by banging it left or right. It has a 5-speed automatic in it. Here's your mirror control. Here is a very funky little cup holder, and it actually works pretty well, despite looking like it couldn't possibly. It just pops up like that. I don't know how you get it back down again. Maybe you don't. All right, well, I'm gonna leave that up till I figure it out. In here, you got a set of books. You got a little place to put your stuff back there. You got Chrysler logos etched into the seats. You got a cool oval mirror. You know, it's just a pretty neat car. And visibility is not fantastic, but it's not the worst. So you do have stuff at the sides. That little back window, yeah, not so much. It's like the, you know, the oval windows on an old Beetle or something. Look at that, you got a home link. Nice. But you know, as long as you're trying to go forward and not backward, you'll be in pretty good shape. Look at that, instant pep. So that 3.2 is pretty torquey, and it does move this car just fine. You're not going to feel wanting for power. Again, it's not going to throw your head back or anything, but it's not underpowered, and it won't make you complain. And for big wheels and tires, it does go down the road nice. We're zipping out before these guys start blocking us off. So traffic is now crazy. Doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going to hammer it here. It's not really a race car. It's kind of, you know, like what the SLK is. It's a very sort of agile, nice-sized little sports car that you can tool around and have fun with. I really like it in the coupe format. You know, convertibles are always great, but I think the design is so true in the coupe to what the original intentions were. And of course, it's going to get collectible as it goes. So, love it or hate it, take it or leave it. This is a 2008 Chrysler Crossfire Coupe. This one has 32,000 miles. Lovely color combination. Very just unique car to the world. There just isn't anything out there like it. You know, reminds me of a more limited production Mini Cooper, which is also unique to the world. You know, you're just not going to find you know, a comparable that looks the same. So if you have an interest in this, give us a call, 239-649-7300, on the web at mercedesexpert.com. Now, it is probably worth pointing out that since Mercedes and Chrysler did have a divorce, and maybe not the most pleasant, I don't know if that makes the value more or less. So the celebration of the two companies ended in tears. What a shame. Anyway, thank you very much for having a look. We appreciate it, and we'll see you again.